I'm going to be rebuilding the Philadelphia Eagles, but with a new addition of Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get 150 likes on this video. I would appreciate that. And before I go any further into the video, I also would like to mention my draft class rosters for the Xbox Next Gen specifically. I've been getting loads of messages about it. I think I am the most up to date on any roster. I've completed rounds 1 through 4, and I'm planning to do rounds 5 and 6 tomorrow, and then 7, and then some UDFAs later. I can't do all UDFAs because, of course, there's thousands of them. But a lot of you guys are telling me, like, there's literally people messaging me on Xbox saying, oh, hurry up, get the rosters done. People don't realize doing rounds 1 through 7 takes over 20 hours to complete. I'm not exaggerating. Do the math. There's over 250 players per draft, and then there's also additional UDFAs that you have to do. There's a minimum about 5 minutes per player that you have to add in that. Do the math to that, and then also that's the minimum. 5 minutes minimum to make each individual player, import them to the roster, update their number, the depth chart, yada, 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 update all that. And then I still have people messaging me saying I'm not getting the roster done fast enough. It takes 3 hours to do one round. I literally timed it and I was going fast. I literally had music on. I was trying to do it as fast as I could. And I was basically giving my ratings based on combine ratings. Some of you guys may be like, oh, well, that's not how you properly grade it. I'm sorry that I don't have the time to sit down for hundreds of hours and watch film on each individual player and give my own grades. But that's how I do it. I got rounds 1 through 4 done. I'm going to do 5 and 6 tomorrow. A lot of you guys, and by tomorrow, I mean today, whenever you're seeing this, a lot of you guys are like, oh, hurry up, get the draft class done. It takes so many hours to do this. Please give me time. But for those of you guys who understand how long it takes, I've been getting messages saying thank you for making the roster update. Of course, EA doesn't update their own game. You guys act like I'm some EA dev. I mean, I would love to be an EA dev and make multi-millions off of a $70 game. That's realistically a $30 game every year. But no, I'm an individual guy with an Xbox controller without a keypad, individually typing out each name, number, their college to implement them in these draft classes and these rosters. If you guys do want to have these rosters, link in the top of the description on how to acquire these rosters. But anyways, enough yapping from me. I just needed to explain that because I've had hundreds, and I'm not joking, hundreds of messages of people telling me to hurry up and get the rosters done faster. It takes so long to do these rosters. And just keep in mind, I'm one dude doing it. I'm literally doing it all by myself. But anyways, for those of you guys that do understand, I do appreciate it. Make sure you like and or subscribe once again. But getting into the rebuild, of course, the Eagles are a great team. They were a wild card exit last year. They were on like a huge, amazing start. I think they started the year like 11-1, 11-2, and then they just completely fell off after that. But this roster looks really nice. And I'm not going to lie, I think the Eagles might have got the best draft. The Chargers had a really good draft. The Ravens had a really good draft. The Falcons, I have no clue what you're doing drafting a defensive tackle over Johnny Newton, Trayvon Sweat, and Braden Fisk. I don't like, it was Rook Ororo is who they picked over Braden Fisk, Johnny Newton, and Trayvon Sweat. Either way, the Falcons are stupid. At least the other dirty birds, not, of course, the Falcons. The Philadelphia Eagles are doing amazing here in their draft. Will Shipley as a late-round pick in the 4th round. I think he's great. You got Saquon Barkley as the elusive back, the power back, and Kenneth Gainwell, and you have Will Shipley as the receiving back. I think this is a great triple threat here. Obviously, the receiving core is great. You paid A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, so they're staying. You got Paris Campbell and Devontae Parker as well. O-line, I'm surprised they didn't draft Jackson Powers-Johnson in the 1st round, but obviously Quinyon Mitchell is a great pick as well, and they didn't get him in the 2nd round either, but still, the O-line, we got to fix the interior just a little bit, but the rest of it looks pretty nice. Defensively, James Bradberry, I'm honestly just going to put at the 4 here. I'd much rather have Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean starting. Cooper DeJean's probably going to move back to safety if I had to guess, but me personally, I want to see him in the nickel. I want to see him playing slot. I want to see him lined up on a crazy receiver and see a white boy lock someone up. That would be so funny to see. D-line is amazing as always. They got Bryce Huff. I think they overpaid for him in real life, but he's still not a bad piece for the Eagles defensive line. Specialist-wise, I'm going to put DeJean in the slot here. Quinyon Mitchell. I would actually just rather have Quinyon Mitchell at my number 2. They also got Devin White, and they also got Jalix Hutt. If I mispronounced his first name, name. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's Jalix. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that. And for the safeties, CJ Gardner-Johnson is back on the Eagles. And of course, they got Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship. I'll actually start Reed Blankenship over Sidney Brown here. So the team is already great. There's not really much rebuilding to do here. I just needed to do a little bit more of explaining. Of course, only rounds 1 through 4 are on this draft class. I'll get to the other ones later, as I mentioned before. But this is what we got going on for the team. And these are the playbooks I'm running. I know Eagles fans are going to be like, oh my God, you're using the Dallas playbook. That's a division rival. I'm disliking the video now. No, that's not how it works, guys. You see, one of the main devs at EA is a Cowboys fan, so their playbooks are always nuts in simulation for no reason. These are always the playbooks I run during my simulations. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but for the most part, I feel like they work once you build the team up enough. And this team is already so stacked, it just needs to go on a run. So realistically, the video of the title should be, can we build a dynasty with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean on the, I was about to say the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm so sorry. Such a whack intro. Let's move into the midseason mark for year number 1. 6-1, top of the division. The team ranks are amazing. Our defensive line rushing game is 20th. How? Our passing game is 20th as well. Not also how, but our points per game is 7th. How? That doesn't make sense. Our defensive passing game and our defensive rushing game is 20th, but our defensive points per game is 7th. Okay, I guess. Scouting national focus. The team really needs nothing, but I guess depth at middle linebacker. For the re-signings, I honestly don't really want to re-sign anyone. Brandon Graham, I don't want to re-sign. Devontae Smith got paid in real life. I don't want to give anyone a contract that I don't have to, because I know once the back part of Jalen Hurts' contract kicks in that I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. And then Devontae Smith and AJ Brown's contract are not updated in my rosters, because you can't actually update the contracts outside of franchise, like on the roster itself. So that's unfortunate. But for now, I'm just going to pay Devontae Smith and AJ Brown the contracts that they got in real life. But for now, let's move into the playoff. Here we are in the playoffs, 13-4, top of the division. Well. Look who we're here to play. At least we're not playing them at their home field, but the Buccaneers could eliminate us here. That would be realistic. My defensive points per game is now at 16th. I mean, I guess my defense is just mid all of a sudden. Stats and awards, Jalen Hurts, top 3 QB in the league here, as he's number 2, the runner-up for league MVP. 3rd best offense, 3rd in passing yards, 3rd in passing touchdowns as well. And then 15th best defense, which I don't really see in real life with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. But Jalen Hurts, 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 114 pass rating, amazing year. Saquon Barkley, 18 touchdowns, 5.0 per carry, 1,400 yards, and not even 300 attempts is a great year for him as well. Did Will Shipley get some like receiving work? He got 3 receptions for 10 yards. In real life, I know they're going to use him more than that, but did you get any work here in the game? Shipley got 7. Okay, he got 3 touchdowns out of 7 carries. That's actually kind of surprising. AJ Brown doing AJ Brown things, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. Devontae Smith with 16 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. He's going to get X Factor. Dallas Goedert with only 600 yards, 5 touchdowns. Devontae Parker, 4 touchdowns, 600 yards. Defensively, Devin White with 138 tackles, tackles for a loss, 14 for Bryce Huff, sacks 12 for Jalen Carter, 7 for Bryce Huff, 4 for Josh Sweat. Really? Only 4 for Josh Sweat? That's surprising. 4 for Darius Slay. Safeties on the team is 0 defensive touchdowns, is 3 for Darius Slay. That's actually crazy. Can we get revenge on the Buccaneers in the Eagles' nest here instead of what, the pirate ship? Is that what they call it? Raymond James Stadium in Tampa? I don't know. Either way, we blow them out by 3 scores. You have to face Spencer Rattler in the New Orleans Saints. I actually don't think he's on my rosters yet, so maybe not. Either way, I should be able to beat Derek Carr here because, you know, it's Derek Carr. He's solid in real life, but in Madden, not so much. Here to face the Dallas Cowboys, and they are crazy in simulation, as everyone knows, so this will actually be a challenge, unlike in real life, because the fact that the Cowboys made it to the conference championship, it's unrealistic enough, but let's beat them to move on to the Super Bowl in year number 1. Here we are against the Cowboys. They're going to start out with 7. We're going to respond with 7. There we go. It took a while to finally get in the end zone. They're going to respond with another 7. We're going to respond with another 7. They're going to respond with nothing right before half. We're going to start with the ball at the half. 17, well, now it's 24-21. Too many scoring happened too fast. 24-24. Do not choke this. Run the ball. You're in field goal range. Run the ball, drain the clock, pin the field goal. I don't know why the AI never does this. I'm just going to have to do it myself. They got a 5-man front, and they are blitzing a safety, but I don't care because I have Saquon Barkley. Yeah, I didn't even have to do anything there. Anyways, I'm just going to run out the clock and finish the game. 3rd down and 4. What are we going to have? I'm going to assume I'm going to have this over the middle. That's going to be AJ Brown. I know that was risky, but I knew I was going to step up in front of it, and that should end the game. Barkley with the carry once again. Don't let him score, but that's fine. Jake Elliott with the kick. It's up. It's good. We're going to win. 0 seconds left on the clock. 27-24 against the Dallas Cowgirls, as we are now moving to the Super Bowl. Oh my God, Vic, you're so immature for calling them the Cowgirls. I don't care. They shouldn't be this good in simulation because they're not that good in real life. But anyways, Eagles are moving on to the Super Bowl in year number 1 with Saquon Barkley, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. Again, not so much of a rebuild, more like a dynasty here, but we can definitely lose to the Ravens. They're a great team in real life and a great team in simulation. But let's see the team upgrades offensively. DeVonta Smith does get superstar dev. Any other upgrades that I see offensively? No. Defensively, what do we got? Jordan Davis, I believe he already came with superstar along with Jalen Carter as well. DeJean, for some reason, it's not showing his dev. I already know star dev. I like that James Bradbury is all the way on the bench, and Isaiah Rodgers is literally suspended indefinitely, so I don't even know why he's here. But I guess he was still technically signed to the Eagles roster, but I mean, I think last year he was suspended indefinitely. I think it was just for a year, but maybe they'll revoke it this year. Either way, it doesn't matter because he's officially on the Eagles roster. Anyways, let's move into the Super Bowl against the Ravens. Here we are against the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to respond with a turnover. 10-0 for the Ravens. 17-0 for the Ravens. Offense, please do something. No, not score 3 points. Get a touchdown. There we go. 17-10. We're going to open up the half and tie up the game. 3-score comeback here. 24-17. And the Ravens might finish it, but I think we can finish it first here. 3rd down alert. I'm going to hop in, and if I get a touchdown, you know I'm going for 2. 3rd and 8. They're pressing A.J. Brown. The safety's there to help. I think Barkley will have the speed on the outside. It was an overthrown pass, but I was right. He still has the speed on the outside to get us a 1st and 10. 2nd and 6. Giving it right back to Barkley. Please block up the field. I got to take a timeout. What was that? 3rd down and 8 after nobody blocked on that previous play. Step up with Jalen Hurts. Slide, please. Thank you, Jalen Hurts. Run the clock down. Actually, I'm going to take a timeout here, and then I'm going to run it further. 1st and goal, we're going to give it to Barkley so I can run the clock down. Just lay down at the 1-yard line. I specifically planned it out to do that, so that way I can run this right here. Let's flip the play. We're going to give it to Barkley with 10 seconds left. They're not in a goal line formation. Barkley is going to take it for the win with 5 seconds left, and we still have a 2-point conversion to go here before I end out. They are pressing on A.J. Brown. Can Nate Wiggins, I believe that is Nate Wiggins on A.J. Brown, can he beat him out? He does not. That's going to be an easy touchdown, and that will be the Super Bowl. 25-24 against the Baltimore Ravens as we win on a 2-point conversion. There's no way they actually win this, and they do not. 25-24, your Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl in a thriller due to a 2-point conversion on the final game-winning drive, and that's only year number 1 as we've already won a Super Bowl. I'm sure we can win many more. Let's see your Super Bowl MVP. Your Super Bowl MVP is Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson wins the league MVP, but doesn't win the Super Bowl. He also wins the Offensive Player of the Year, and Jalen Carter, it's quote-unquote Defensive Rookie of the Year for him. Obviously, it's not. It's just a glitch with the AI. In the NFC East, a bunch of Giants players retire. I mean, if I was on the Giants, I would too. And then Brandon Graham retires with a Super Bowl ring. For the players ready to negotiate, I don't remember DeVonta Smith's contract, but I know I'm not going to accept his options, so that way I can pay him his contract. I believe it was like, wasn't it like a 4-year deal? I know A.J. Brown's was like 3 years, $96 million. I don't know what DeVonta Smith's was, but I'm going to end up paying him a bag. Everyone else here is a no. Actually, Braden Mann, do I want to pay a punter? I mean, do I really need all this money? Sure, I'll pay my punter. It's only $1 million a year. Never mind, he doesn't want to play here. I have $47 million to spend, but obviously I'm not going to use it in free agency. I'm going to try and use it to try to maintain the team as best as it possibly can. So for now, let's move into the draft. In the first round, picking up middle linebacker Bradley Boham out of Washington State. 6'1", 250, 84 speed, 88 acceleration, 78 strength, hidden dev, B catching, B play rec, A hit power, A pursuit. He looks great. And in the second round, picking up left guard Blake Pope out of Iowa State. I'm going to move him to right guard. 6'4", 311, hidden dev, 85 strength, 79 acceleration, A impact blocking, B run block, B pass block, and A pass block finesse. This is the team after the draft. My guard is a 75 overall, so I guess Jurgens isn't that bad. I'll keep him here for now. I picked up this guy Hayden, I think in the 3rd round. Yeah, Aaron Hayden. I mean, since I don't have to technically pay him and he's the same overall and he can actually progress later down the line, I think it'll be better to start him. Jurgens is pretty young as well, but I eventually will have to pay Jurgens. Hayden, I will not because he's on a 4-year deal. Everyone looks pretty good here. It's about maintaining the team, not upgrading the team. I forgot they traded a 3rd round pick for Kenny Pickett. God, dude. Kenny Pickett. Bonham. Is it Bonham? B-O-N-Ham? Okay, Bonham. Interesting. I think I pronounced that wrong last time. I'm probably dyslexic. Don't even know it. But Bonham, I'm going to move him outside to right outside linebacker. So obviously the defensive line and the entire defense in general just looks amazing with Quinyon, Mitchell. Cooper DeJean actually got superstar dev. I put him at star dev before, but now he has superstar dev. I guess he really excelled in the slot there, so I'm going to keep him there. I liked it a lot. And Smith is also in the slot here. Maybe Paris Campbell would be better, but I mean, we won a Super Bowl with Devontae Smith in the slot, so I don't really want to change anything. 88 overall team. We still got an amazing team around us. Let's try and maintain it the best we possibly can. Year number 2. Let's move into the midseason mark. 5-1, second in the division. The Cowboys are 6-1, so I guess we had an early bye. Why is my defensive rushing game 24th in the league? Is Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, a healthy Jordan Davis, not good enough? That's actually crazy. So I guess my scouting national focus has to be defensive tackle because 2 superstar interior defensive linemen aren't good enough, and I also have solid linebackers, so I don't really know what the problem is. Players ready to negotiate. Devontae Smith. I know he got a bag in real life. I don't know how much of a bag, but sure, I'll just give him this. It's a 4-year contract. He resigns with the team. Landon Dickerson, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay him. Josh Sweat, Reed Blankenship. I want Reed Blankenship back because I know, I thought it was going to be a cheap contract. I don't know about that now. Oh, yeah, we got to re-sign Kenny Pickett, dude. He's just a franchise guy. Yeah, $15 million. He wants $15 million a year to be a backup QB. Absolutely not, dude. Kenneth Gainwell, I wouldn't mind back, but I have Will Shipley. I'm trying to maintain the team as best I possibly can. Everyone else here, I don't really think I have a desire for. Maybe Jake Elliott. I can just draft a new kicker or punter. Then I'll just accept the option for Jordan Davis to hold off his contract. But Landon Dickerson, I have to pay him around $14 million a year, which really sucks. But I think it's worth it. I think it's something the Falcons will do. Well, not the Falcons, the Eagles. I don't know why I'm mixing them up so much in this read, but I think it's something the Eagles will do in real life. And then Josh Sweat. It depends how he plays this year. He gave me 4 sacks last year. If he gives me 4 sacks again, I'm not re-signing him. Everyone else here, just not really that interested in, other than maybe Reed Blankenship. So apart from that, let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, second in the division, because somehow the Cowboys go 15-2 and take the division. They're the 1 seed, and we now become the 5 seed because some stupid playoff mechanics or playoff brackets, however you want to say it. Still, we're 13-4. We have a really tough opponent in the San Francisco 49ers, and our defense is 6 in points per game, despite our passing defense and our rushing defense being mid. Stats and awards, Jalen Hurts looks like a league MVP once again, and he gets a runner-up behind Lamar Jackson 2 years in a row. He's going to be the Drew Brees of this era, and Lamar Jackson's going to be the Tom Brady. If you guys know what I'm talking about, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Drew Brees placed runner-up for league MVP in real life, I think 4 times, and I think 2 of those times were behind Brady. He should have won at least 1 league MVP, but that's the comparison I'm making here. Jalen Hurts, 4,100 yards, 44 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 125 pass rating. Amazing year for him. Saquon Barkley, 21 touchdowns, 5.9 per carry, 1,700 yards. Amazing year from him as well. Devontae Smith, everyone's just having an amazing year. I don't even need to say it at this point. Devontae Smith, 106 receptions, 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 10 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Devontae Parker, 700 yards, 8 touchdowns. If I get Dallas Goedert's contract, I'm not going to re-sign him because if you're in the Chiefs playbook, tight ends really don't do much in terms of receiving ability in Madden. I know Dallas Goedert's stats were actually not bad now that I look at them. They're not bad, but he's probably going to want $17 million a year if I do have to re-sign him. And then Devin White has 133 tackles for a loss, 17 for Bryce Huff is nice, sacks 7 for Josh Sweat. I mean, it's the most on the team for some reason. I don't know why we're not just getting any pressure anymore. I know it's we have Josh Sweat and Bryce Huff. I also have Nolan Smith. I'm just not going to pay you $17 million a year to produce 14 tackles for a loss and 7 sacks. I've seen rookies produce these numbers, not in real life. I'm talking about in Madden, in real life too, but still, interceptions, 4 for Devin White, safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the San Francisco 49ers to move on to the divisional round? It's a really tough round 1 opponent. We do, 38-23. Can we beat the J.J. McCarthy Minnesota Vikings, who I believe seemed like a 6 seed since we were the 5 seed and we had home field advantage? We beat them. Here to face the 15-2 Dallas Cowboys, but this time we have to go to, it's not Dallas, it's Arlington. Is it Arlington? Yeah, Arlington. I think so. Anyways, let's move into it. Or it's Fort Worth, Texas. I may be wrong about that. Either way, we are technically near Dallas, Texas. Not exactly in it, but huge run from Barkley. 7-0 start against the Cowboys. I'm just going to simulate to the end of the game here. 14-0 with another huge run from Barkley. 14-17, 17-17 game. Nice stuff. 24-17, 24-24. We're responding for every hit that they make. We open up the half with 7. They're going to respond with 7. Huge offensive game. We both punt. We punt again, which gives the Cowboys the lead. Key moments. I'm not even going to hop into this, But if they get close, red zone alert. Is the clock still running is the question. If the clock is still running, I'm going to hop out of this. It is not. I think I can maybe do this. Actually, it is. It is running. So it's better just to do key moments and then hop out, because if the clock is still running and the AI takes over, it makes a huge difference in simulation. So do they get it? They do. 38-38 with the last second left. The AI gets it. We're in overtime. What would the Cowboys do? Punt. Give me the ball. What happened? What happened? They won? I literally pressed back so that way we can hop in. Did they get a pick six? No way. Devin Duvernay got a 61-yard bomb. I wanted to hop in whenever I was trying to hit the back button, so it was a throwaway, and then we punt it. Cam Akers runs the ball 4 times in a row, and then he throws an absolute bomb to Devin Duvernay, and the Cowboys make the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl, 34-28. Looks like it was an overtime game. Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson wins back-to-back league MVPs, and there are no awards here for the Eagles. In the NFC East, Zach Martin retires for the Cowboys. That's good for us. For the team upgrades offensively, Pope has star dev, then everyone else looks the exact same. Defensively, what do we got? Devin White has superstar dev. Bonham, whatever. Dude has star dev. Anyone else here with dev upgrades? No, I guess I need more defensive line depth because it's mid every single year. But anyways, let's move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, Jordan Davis, I'll accept this option. Josh Sweat, I think I'm going to tag and trade because the 2 years that I've had him in the simulation, he hasn't even gotten close to double-digit sacks. Oh, Vic, he's a run stopper. I'm not going to pay a run stopper $18 million a year. I'm not doing that. Reed Blankenship, he's $7 million a year, which is a little bit more expensive than I anticipated him to be, but I like him as a safety. I'm going to keep him here. We have $42 million. Yeah, we need to re-sign Kenny Pickett. Obviously not. Kenneth Gainwell, Kenny Pickett, Isaiah Rodgers. Milton Williams, I wouldn't mind, but he doesn't want to be here. Then everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. Jake Elliott, I'll just draft a new kicker. And then Josh Sweat, I think I'm just going to tag and trade him. I'm going to give him an awful deal so that way I can get the franchise tag option. So now we're going to tag him for $20 million, and then I'm just going to trade away his contract. And I know I have upcoming like pending contracts. Like I believe in real life, AJ Brown's contract was signed in real life, but in Madden, it hasn't came up yet. So next season, I'm going to have to deal with that. But for now, let's go trade away Josh Sweat. I know I said I wasn't going to participate in free agency, but really quickly, I wanted just to get a long-term punter and kicker, both on some cheap deals. So I'm fine with this. Now I'm trading away Josh Sweat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a second-round pick. And now this means Nolan Smith gets to move down to edge rusher. I know he's specifically more like a 3-4 edge rusher, being at only 238 pounds, but I'm going to put him at the 4-3, see how he does, because I don't really have anyone else there. I might take someone else if there is someone available that does look really good, but I specifically need defensive tackle because apparently the AI thinks my defensive line is atrocious for some reason. Dante Majette here out of Vanderbilt, 6'6", 276, can profile as a defensive tackle, but he has great speed, runs a 4.6. This is more of a defensive end for sure. Great speed, good acceleration, elite jumping, great strength. I think I am going to pick him. Sorry, Nolan Smith. I didn't want to like push him out, but Nolan Smith is going to be depth here because this guy looks sick. 6'6", 280 pounds, and he's very athletic with 89 strength, 84 acceleration, 83 speed. Hidden dev, A power moves, B tackle. He looks great. Round number 2, Kevin Blake, elite speed, elite acceleration, runs a 4.7 as a defensive lineman, A pursuit, A finesse moves, A tackle, F power moves, but I don't care. He has a bunch of A's across the board, and he looks sick with hidden development, 6'1", 305, 87 strength, very fast for being 300 pounds, A's across the board. He looks great. And with another second-round pick for trading away Josh Sweat, Jonathan Wilcox out of Tennessee, 6'3", 300 pounds, hidden dev, 86 strength, 81 acceleration, A's and B's across the board. Finally, have a center with hidden dev. Ooh, Julian Morgan, elite strength, great acceleration, marginal speed though, runs a 4.25, A tackle, A impact blocking, A play rack. But this guy, Brandon Craig, great strength, a lot more balanced athletically, and a lot more balanced skill-wise. But I think I'm going to go bigger, go home here with the elite strength. He's going to have like 90 strength, A impact blocking, A tackle, A play rack. And he's also, is he the bigger guy as well? 404 pounds compared to what was this guy? He's 288. This guy's more of a speed rusher compared to the power rusher. He's a run stopper, 404 pounds. Julian Morgan, hidden dev in the 3rd round, 94 strength as a rookie is nuts, 83 acceleration, A. Dude, I swear if the AI says, oh, you have 16th best rushing defense in the game, I'm going to be pissed. My D-line is so stacked. Oh, it looks like we have the defensive end's brother, Keyshawn Majette. If I'm mispronouncing last name, I don't care. 6'3", 247. He doesn't doesn't look good, like really at all. F, finesse moves. B, hit power. B, awareness. You know what? Let's just keep the family together. Normal dev. I don't care. I just wanted to mention it. Now, this is the team moving into year number 3. Hayden's a 77, but Wilcox does have the dev, so I'm going to start him. Looks like the AI keeps picking up depth running backs. Paris Campbell and Devontae Parker. I swear their contracts should not be lasting this long, but sure. Bartow, I'm going to move him up just because he's young, has star dev, and I eventually won't have to pay him. Well, I just don't have to pay him, period. Julian Morgan and Blake are both great here, and my defensive end is a 77 overall. That was a W pick. Now, I know a lot of people may want to see Nolan Smith shine, but this guy, he's 6'6", he has great speed. He's going to be amazing as well. Nolan Smith will play in rotation. The team still looks great. We're a 91 overall team, so I still think we look great. Nolan Smith, of course, back in rotation. Cooper DeJean in the slot. Everyone else looks pretty good, and I'm going to move Bartow back up after refreshing the roster. Everyone else looks good. Let's move into the midseason mark for year number 3. 6-0, top of the division. Finally, my defensive rushing game is ranked top 5. It should be top 1, but still, now my passing and my rushing game is mid. If one thing is good, the others are just like, meh, whatever. But breakout DB, who we're going to have? We're going to have Reed Blankenship. That's not a DB. That's the same thing. Oh, technically, Vic, he's part of the defensive back, and he's a DB. No, he's a safety. There is a difference between safety and corner. Safety is a significantly easier position to play than, obviously, I was about to say DB, and some people would be specific, than cornerback. Corner is much harder to play than safety. They're both hard positions to play, but corner is definitely the hardest position to play in the NFL. And of course, you have to listen to me yap about every little thing, about every little game, because I pay $70 for a $30 game every year because it's my job, and I hate it every day, but I'm going to do it anyways. For the players that get to negotiate, Saquon, you are staying with the team forever, and he wants more money. All right. I mean, he's Saquon Barkley. Devin White, I would like to overpay, but, I mean, what does he specifically want to stay on this team? He doesn't want to be in Pennsylvania. I wouldn't either. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he doesn't want to be in Pennsylvania. I wouldn't either. Jordan Mailata, he just doesn't like the scheme fit. We're winning games. I'm not changing it. Dallas Goedert, I already explained that I probably wouldn't re-sign him. Bryce Huff, he hasn't been doing bad, but he hasn't been doing good enough for $11 million. I'm losing a lot of players here. Darius Slay is going to regress. He doesn't like the scheme fit, aka the same one that wins. Lane Johnson, he's going to stay here, but he's already 35, so he's going to regress. I'm going to have a cheaper contract. I didn't know James Bradbury's contract lasted to this long. Same thing with Devontae Parker. I'll take Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith's options later. Saquon Barkley's being picky. I think I am just going to overpay for Devin White. It's about $15 million a year. He's going to re-sign with the team. CJ Gardner-Johnson, I'm going to have to do the same thing. They just don't want to be in Pennsylvania. So, overpay for them. Jordan Mailata, he's our franchise left tackle, and I win games with the scheme. But at the same time, if I overpay him, this also includes Saquon Barkley's contract. I'm going to have to pay him around $30 million a year for him to stay, and then I'm going to lose Dallas Goedert, lose Bryce Huff. I'm going to address this at the end of the year because I still want Darius Slay back despite his age. Same thing with Lane Johnson. So I'm going to address this later. Maybe I'll do a tag and trade, but Barkley needs to come back. So for year number 3, let's move into the playoffs. 14-3, top of the division, taking the first seed, and my defensive rushing game is 17th. Okay, thank you, EA, for nothing. Why? Stats and awards, Jalen Hurts looks like another league MVP year, and he's not the runner-up. He's top 5, though. I mean, he's 4 runner-up, but either way, offensively, we are 4th in the league. Defensively, in points per game, why are we 14th? Why is my defense mid? Jalen Hurts, almost 4,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 123 pass rating. Amazing year once again. Saquon Barkley continues to improve every year. I mean, less yards, but more touchdowns. 23 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry, 1,300 yards. A.J. Brown, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 8 touchdowns, 1,200 yards, 102 receptions. Dallas Goedert, he's putting up more numbers, but again, I don't want to pay a tight end $18 million a year just to not even give me 1,000 yards. So we're not even in a scheme that targets tight ends. Then Danny Bartow is producing just as much as him and with less receptions, and he's also getting more touchdowns, 15 less yards with so significantly less receptions, and I don't have to pay him. So that's the difference between tight ends and receivers in Madden. Obviously, in real life, tight ends are more valuable, but Devin White, 119 tackles for a loss, 18 for Bryce Huff. So I kind of want to re-sign him for that, but sacks-wise, 9 for Jalen Carter, and then our rookie, 5.5 in his first year. This is similar to what I was getting with Josh Sweat, except Josh Sweat, I believe he had 14 tackles for a loss, 7 sacks. So he was better, but at the same time, I don't have to pay this guy. Interceptions, 4 for Devin White, and then safeties on the team is 0 defensive touchdowns, is 2 for Darius Slay. He's been balling with those defensive touchdowns in this rebuild. But anyways, I think trading away Josh Sweat was the right idea because I don't even have the money to pay the guys that I currently have. So it's going to be rough. Please don't let me face the Cowboys again in simulation, because the Cowboys are gods in simulation. And we're here to face the 8-9 Arizona Cardinals. I'm sure we're going to lose because our defense is ranked 17th in the league for some reason. Yeah, thank you, EA. We lose for no reason because the 8-9 Cardinals said so. Let's move into the offseason. And for those of you guys saying, oh my God, Vic, it's because of your playbooks. My playbooks are fine. We were doing just fine whenever I improved my defensive tackles. Then at the end of the year, the AI was like, how about no? How about you just lose because we said so? Anyways, the Cowboys make it back to the Super Bowl, but this time they lose 16-14 against the Miami Dolphins. And Harold Holtz, middle linebacker for the Dolphins, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP. Danny Barto, the rookie for the Eagles, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Dante Majette, I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that. Majette. I'm pretty sure I'm stupid and someone's grilling me in the comments. Either way, he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, so that's great for us. In the NFC East, Tyrann Mathieu retires with the Commanders, Rob Havenstein on the Commanders, Bobby Wagner on the Commanders. Darius Slay retiring kind of blows, but I don't think I'd be able to afford to pay him anyways. And the Cowboys punter retires. For the team upgrades, Barto gets up to Superstar Dev. Barto, I may just be completely mispronouncing that too, and I'm also stupid. But Wilcox has Star Dev, so that's nice. And then Majette here, Dante, I'm just going to call him that. He has Superstar Dev. That's awesome. Our DBs are still looking nice even without... why am I blanking? Darius Slay. God. Jalix Hunt finally gets Star Dev. He's only up to a 74 overall. Keep in mind, he started as a 73, so he's only up to a 75 with the boost. Hasn't really done much, but it's fine. 90 overall team. The D-line looks great, but the Madden AI says otherwise. Anyways, let's move into our re-signing. For the players ready to negotiate, I'll accept the option on Jalen Carter. And who was the other option? I don't really know. It was Nolan Smith, actually. Saquon Barkley, I'll just do the neutral. Again, actually do 4 years and increase the bonus to $7 million. He resigns for the final year. Jordan Mailata. Dallas Goedert's already down to an 84. How much money does he want? I'm not paying you $10 million a year to just regress in Madden simulation. Bryce Huff, I do want to just keep. I might as well just have him. He was leading the team for tackles for a loss. Keep him. Nolan Smith, I'll accept his option for the final year. Paris Campbell, no. Kobe Dean. If he wanted to be here, I wouldn't mind him as depth. He wants a mentor. It's kind of too late for that. Jordan Mailata, I think I will just have to bite the bullet on this, or I may just have to tag him. I think that might just be cheaper. Lane Johnson, yeah, I'm just going to do this 2-year deal with him. He resigns for the 4th year. Then I'm not interested in old-ass Devontae Parker. Jordan Mailata, do I have the money to keep him? No, I do not. So I'm just going to do team-friendly, spread it out to 5 years. Dump the contract, and this is whenever I just tag him back to the team for the 4th and final year. Losing Dallas Goedert, Paris Campbell. So what I was saying got cut off because my recording ended abruptly. Sorry about that, but I was saying we're losing Dallas Goedert, Paris Campbell, and the Kobe Dean, and all these other guys. So let's move into the draft with negative cap debt. Marquez Stewart looks amazing. I know I sound so stupid when I pronounce his last name, but still, elite acceleration, great speed, runs a 4.38, 4.32 at his college pro day, A press, A catching, B zone coverage. He's a man-to-man archetype, so that B to D, if he has B zone coverage and he's a man-to-man archetype, he definitely has B zone coverage as well there. Very, very fast, 5'11", almost 200 pounds. He's going to be the replacement for Darius Slay. Only normal dev sucks, but it's the 4th and final year, so I guess his development doesn't necessarily matter. But anyways, 93 speed, 95 acceleration. He looks great. Oh, I accidentally simulated to the end of the draft. I meant to go in the 2nd round. Hopefully it picks up a tight end for me. And the AI did understand the assignment. Wilcox is low overall than Hayden, so I'm going to start Hayden anyways. Woods, he's a 70 overall. He has hidden dev, so W by the AI. Then Barto, he's only a 74 without the boost as superstar dev, but he's fine. The team, it's still a 90 overall. It's definitely still a Super Bowl contender. We only have 1 Super Bowl so far in year number 1. Morgan is a superstar dev. Blake is a 75 overall star dev. Then Julian Morgan, 404 pounds, superstar dev. That dude seems so sick. But the team looks pretty good still. Stewart here is a 79 overall. Keely Ringo is still here. So it's still nice depth overall at our secondary. I like the team a lot. 90 overall. I'm going to keep saying overall over and over and overall again. But anyways, 99 overall, A.J. Brown, 98 overall, Devontae Smith. And let's move in to the overall 4th and final year. God, I need to stop saying that. Let's move into it. 14-3, top of the division, just for us to no wild card to an 8-9 Cardinals team. And my defensive rush game, the game is screwing with me. It's 12th. It's the only thing that's not in the green. It's so frustrating. Stats and awards, Jalen Hurts, please just give him the league MVP, dude. Finally, he earns it and he deserves it after being the runner-up for so long. Best offense in the NFL, probably mid-defense, second defense, never mind. But our defensive rushing game is evidently mid. Almost 4,500 yards, 2 yards shy from it. 39 touchdowns touchdowns to only 3 interceptions, 124 pass rating, league MVP year. Saquon Barkley with 22 touchdowns, 5.0 per carry, 1,500 yards, another amazing year. And then A.J. Brown, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 17 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Of course, they've been amazing throughout the entire rebuild because, you know, they're great. And Nigel Woods, he's literally putting up the same stats or very similar stats to what Dallas Goedert was doing, and I, again, don't have to pay him. Danny Barto is a 600, I was about to say 62 overall. I don't know why I keep thinking of this stuff. 600 yards and 2 touchdowns. Devin White with 112 tackles for a loss, 16 for Jordan Davis, sacks, 9.5 for Bryce Huff, 6.5 for Dante, 4.5 for Jalen Carter. I guess I should have just given Nolan Smith a chance, but it's fine. Interceptions, 2 for Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Quinyon Mitchell. Now, who will we lose to in the divisional round? I am so excited to see it because it's a Madden simulation. Oh, wow. We're going to lose to the Cowboys again because Madden simulation said so. Let's see what we got. Wow, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that the Philadelphia Eagles would lose to the most godly team in Madden simulation? Vikk, you said you were supposed to be building a dynasty. You only won 1 Super Bowl with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. Well, I'm sorry that the AI thinks that Dak Prescott is a playoff god. I can't do anything about that because the EA devs are like, nah, it's our year this year because we're all Cowboys fans. Cowboys losing the Super Bowl again, but throughout this rebuild, they made more Super Bowls than we did, even though we have a way better team. Jonathan Taylor wins Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts wins the league MVP. Nick Sirianni wins Coach of the Year. And that will be it for the quote-unquote rebuild of the Philadelphia Eagles. It was supposed to be utter domination, but of course, the Cowboys and the Cardinals prevented that from happening, and for some reason, my defensive line prevented that from happening as well. But Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean both progressed very nicely in simulation. We did get them a Super Bowl ring, so that's what matters. So I would consider this a quote-unquote successful rebuild with the team, and I'm really liking Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, them doubling down on defensive back in the first and early second round. That was so sick. Well, late second round, well, late first round, early second. But anyways, guys, if you guys did make it this far in the video, you guys know you liked the video if you made it this far in the video. Make sure you like it or subscribe. I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.